Greetings! I am Monster D, and today I am bringing to you an interview. Yes, an interview with one of my very favorite bands, but actually, this interview is going to be more like two bands for the price of one, and you didn't even pay for the first one, so quite a bargain this is for you. Yes. Firstly, we meet this band that goes by the name of Womanowar. Yes, a lovingly tongue-in-cheek tribute band to the great Manowar. But, as you will soon learn, which you may already know, 3 out of the 4 members of this band also comprise the great band of Sound of Thunder. And if you've been with me, with my channel for some amount of time, you may have already heard their thunder in my videos. So, without further ado, enjoy this interview. Who are you?
I'm Jesse Keene, bass and keyboards and backup vocals for Sound of Thunder. Also, Jesse DeManna's bass for Manowar.
I'm Dewey Tron. I play drums in Womanowar. Oh yeah, my name is actually Dewey Hamsick.
I'm Josh Schwartz. I'm the guitarist for Sound of Thunder, and I'm also Josh the Posh, the guitarist for Womanowar.
I'm Nina. I'm the lead singer of Womanowar and the Sound of Thunder. My Womanowar name is Erica Madams.
Please, fellow, please.
Why and how did Womanowar come about? Well, A Sound of Thunder keeps pretty busy. A Sound of Thunder is our original band. We don't generally do very many covers.
Well, early this year, the Sound of Thunder drummer Chris Herron essentially had a shoulder issue in which he that we thought was going to put him down for the better part of a year.
If you know Sound of Thunder, you know that our drummer is a mummy.
And we were a little sad about not being able to play live shows for a while, but we don't want to play A Sound of Thunder without Chris, so we decided to see if we could find a drummer to play Manowar songs. And
we got to talking at the time where we'd been sort of floating the idea of doing a sort of Manowar tribute act called Womanowar as for fun for a few months.
We found Dewey. Well, we didn't find him. We know Dewey. So
Dewey?
I was hiding in the closet.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, for me, she put out a casting on like an open poll on on Facebook. It's like, hey, who wants to join this all woman Manowar cover? And I was like, I don't care. I will wear a dress and a wig to be in this band. And I was just joking. I didn't think they would actually pick me, but it wasn't until I showed up in the chat feed. I was like, whoa, I'm in? So
you didn't realize.
Like, oh yeah, kick ass.
You didn't realize that put you on top of the resume.
Yeah, it's like, well, I was just really enthusiastic because I'm kind of in between. This is like a temporary project, so it seems like something I could do. I didn't want to jump into any permanent projects right away after my breakup with my last band. So, yeah.
Very nice. And yeah, we decided to play some Manowar songs because they're fun and it's been a good time.
And Chris is okay now?
He's fine. He actually, he did not end up having his surgery. He did physical therapy. He was told he could put the surgery off indefinitely. So as long as he doesn't re-injure it, we're good for a while.
Nice. So What can you say about the controversy that has gone along with Womanowar and Man OWar and persons I shall not name?
Oh, I'll name them. Well, I mean, Man OWar is slightly controversial to begin with. I mean, some of their lyrics are pretty sexist, and we flipped that on its head by making it Whoa Man OWar and flipping the gender on some of the lyrics.
The long and the short of it is that we've got a couple of cease and desists from from one particular member of Man OWar. So without getting into the legal issues around it, they're citing that, or this particular band member is citing that we don't have that we're infringing upon the Man OWar copyright by calling ourselves Womanowar and by using too similar a font.
And the more recent issue was that they had their lawyer send us, Joey had his lawyer send us an email telling us we had to stop using the Womanowar logo because it was too close to Manowar. So I think there's something funny going on because there are other bands that are using a similar font that he doesn't seem to have an issue with.
I don't know. There are suggestions that he doesn't like the fact that we are a female-fronted Man OWar tribute band,
Right.
But again, we don't know.
Or maybe because he thinks we're making fun of Man OWar. I think Man OWar is fun and ridiculous, but mostly in good ways, and the songs are great. We're not trying to take anything away from Man OWar.
Right.
Just speculating.
I suppose there's certainly enough of a trail of evidence, even in song lyrics, too.
Yeah, it could be suggested that he is not a big fan of women, but again, this is just speculation.
No, he loves women. He just wants to enslave them.
Yeah.
This is going to be one of those fan conspiracies for years and years.
Yeah.
As long as he remains officially silent.
Exactly. Who knows? But this is all speculation. I am not saying one thing or the other.
Led Zeppelin, the Iron Maidens, Judas Priest, pretty much every other tribute band gets to use the font from the band that they're
Right.
paying tribute to. If for some reason Joey had a problem with us.
Actually, that was the first issue. The first takedown was we posted a video of us playing at Soundstage in Baltimore, and they took the video down.
But you know what? It's all good. We're having a good time. We weren't planning to do this forever. We're not planning to make money off of it, so it doesn't really matter.
Because you guys do consider yourselves a tribute more so than parody, yes?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely like a little bit of parody in there, which it just automatically becomes a parody by switching the gender and the lyrics.
Right.
But it's mostly tribute. I mean, I won't take anything away from Joey DeMaio. He's probably written more great metal songs than anyone but a handful of people on the planet. There's a very select few people that have written that many classic metal songs. He's one of them. And at one point, he was one of the best metal bassists in the world. So you can't take that away from him.
Do you have a favorite part or point of the controversy that you've experienced?
Well, none of it has blown back on us negatively, so that's been fine. I would like to just thank him for the extra publicity. If he hadn't done those things, we probably wouldn't have gotten half as much attention as we did. So it worked out nicely.
Well, my favorite part is, meeting Ross the Boss. I mean, he came out to our show and told us a story about how Pleasure Slave was like the last straw for him, and he was like, we already have women throwing themselves at us. Why do we need to brainwash them further by doing this? And it just shows how good of a guy he is to stand on that type of principle, for leaving the band.
Right.
Oh, and he loved our version of Pleasure Slave because of the whole flip in pronouns. It just it reconciled what he didn't like about the song, and I'm that I'm really happy that he liked that. That was the moment why he left, and then we turned it around for him.
Yeah, he was a co-writer or something of.
He was for what we're playing tonight. Ross is the co-writer of all but one of the songs. So.
I think my favorite part was discovering that there was another Man OWar tribute band called Manowar that uses a logo exactly like the Man OWar logo.
I was just going to ask if they all dress up as barbarian potato chips.
I don't know, but I'd like to think that they do. And I found them, and they're a good band. They play in the UK, and apparently nobody has bothered them, so I don't know what the difference between them and us is, but apparently they have not been bothered by Joey DeMaio yet, so not sure what the difference between us and them is, except maybe that I'm a lady. So
I wonder.
could be a thing.
Dewey, can you tell us a little more about your role in the Thunder family here?
I directed a few of the first music videos in the very beginning.
They think themselves so righteous, they do not think we're real, but they'll believe the stories when we make them scream. Killer, killer! Killer, killer!
Like on the map with anybody yet, and I just wanted to work with a group of people who had like a good fan base following already, you know, and kind of for me to get my name out there, and if I make something good, it will like sort of, you know, I'll get to win that audience, and they'll have some cool, you know, material to promote with. And so I just felt like it was a win-win, and just since that first video, I just kept working with them. We made more videos.
We heard the screaming on the news. You barricaded all the windows. All I had was you to lose. The scratching found us in the nighttime. Hollow voices, hungry cries. We held each other through the chaos, never thinking.
I was in other bands, but that's probably what gave me the idea to recruit me into this group.
Can you speak of the fate of Womanowar, where things are going in the near and maybe slightly further than near future?
Well, I won't say that Womanowar is retiring, but we might be going on an extended hiatus. So Sound of Thunder is about to wrap up the biggest campaign we've ever had for an album on Kickstarter. It's going to end up being probably the second most successful campaign in the metal category ever on Kickstarter.
Right. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you. We have a ton of physical products to manufacture now, a ton of music to rehearse, a lot of touring to do. I do all the shipping myself, and so I'm not really looking to have to rehearse for two bands right now, so I think we're going to be focusing on the Sound of Thunder for a while. But you know, Womanowar's been a ton of fun. I'm almost sorry it's going to stop as soon as it is, because I think this is our 5th show, and it takes a while for a band to get well-oiled, and I feel like we're just starting to sound good and have a lot of fun with it. But I expect we'll be back at some point. It just might be a while.
Perhaps a WomanoWar reunion show or some such thing.
Oh yeah, we need to work out some way to pull a ghost, and you know, like they have Papa Emeritus the second, the third. So we might need Joey DeMaionese Jr. Josh the Posh will be replaced by Stu the Jew. That sort of thing. Yeah, we'll see.
Very nice.
And now, let us move on to some questions about recent news regarding A Sound of Thunder.
So now I'm going to move on and talk a little bit about your recent success in Catalonia and your sort of newfound fame there. First, congratulations on that. I'm super excited for you guys.
Thank you.
Yes. And I was going to ask, first of all, so you guys covered their national anthem. I wanted to ask, why did you cover such a song?
We really only did it originally because we wanted to do something for Nina's mom. Our singer, Nina, is first-generation American. Her mom was an immigrant from Catalonia. And we just wanted to do something for her. Nina was researching Catalan music. She found El Segadors, played it for the band. We thought the melody was cool. The Reapers, like it was already, it had metal built in. Like we just had to bring it out, you know. It was like a diamond, it just needed to be polished.
Right.
In there, but not a lot.
Right.
It's like sickles, raise up your sickles doesn't fit the meter quite as well as raise up your sides. So I mean, mostly the translation is intact though.
Oh, I was going to say, perhaps someone needs to finally put together a top 10 list of the most metal national anthems that exist.
I'm not an expert on them, but I'm guessing El Segador's is going to make it. I don't know how many other national anthems you get to say raise up your weapons, destroy the enemy, so it's pretty metal.
So what surprised you the most about all the enthusiasm that you received from Catalonia for covering this song?
Just the sheer amount of people that heard the song, honestly. Being a small kind of niche metal band, personally, I had resigned myself that nothing this big would ever happen to A Sound of Thunder. We do this for our small select group of fans, which we still do. But yeah, I figured we'd be playing in clubs for 30 people for the rest of our lives, and I never really thought we'd have a video that would get 1 million hits in a week.
Wow.
So it was just a surprise.
What were your first reactions after all this had broken out to the news of the Catalonian independence?
What was the reaction? I wasn't surprised. I knew they were going to declare independence eventually. I guess I wasn't expecting all of the lawmakers to get arrested. So that's definitely a thing that's going on. What also surprises me is the Spanish government saying that there's going to be another election soon, and they're like, if we do another election, this is going to be our way of keeping out the separatists. But who do you think they're going to elect? Because it's not like the Catalan people didn't vote.
Right.
All the Catalan people voted for this. Not all of them voted for this, but the majority voted for independence. They've all voted for Puigdemont to begin with, and he's a separatist. So, I think it's ridiculous that they don't expect a separatist to be elected, because, unless you're just not letting them vote, that's obviously who they're going to elect, so.
We're going to keep having elections until our guy gets it.
Exactly, yeah.
Effectively galvanized Catalonian separatists to come out to vote in December. And I don't know what the logic is in hoping that that's going to have a different outcome.
Right.
I mean, stopping people from voting.
Without stopping people from voting or stopping people from running.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're going to be able to stop it.
Yeah.
The Spanish National Police beat 800 or 900 Catalan citizens on the streets, and we just wanted to put the song out to let people know that we saw what was going on, and it's not our place to insert ourselves politically, but we just want them to know that we're behind them and we hear what's going on, and we want them to have all the best.
Right. So, what do you know, or what can you say about the Catalonian and Spanish metal scenes there? What do you know of them?
Oh, very little. One of my favorite bands is from Spain. They're called Baron Rojo. They've been around since 1980-ish. Great band. Very little known around the world outside of Spanish-speaking countries. So that's my main knowledge of the Spanish metal scene. I know there's a lot of great bands there. There's a bunch of bands signed up to open for us over there. They sound great. I think it's probably just like everywhere else. Metal is something that thrives in a certain type of person that exists everywhere.
Right.
And so I expect we're going to go to Catalonia. We're going to meet some metalheads, and they're going to be just like us.
You may not know about their approaching album, or about the imminent return of a certain demon lord. So let us delve into this now. So how do you compare this album with your previous albums that you've done?
I think this one is a lot more faster. A lot faster.
A lot more faster.
Yeah.
Good work.
It's a lot faster and more power metal-y, and yeah, I think power metal fans will really enjoy it. Doom metal fans maybe not as much, but I enjoy it. I had a great time recording it.
So this might not appease the Cookie Monster metal fans,
Yeah,
perhaps?
but I mean, we got.
I don't think we normally,
we don't them anyway, yeah. But we got Mark I say Tornillo, he says Tornillo. We got Mark Tornillo from Accept to be on one of the songs.
That's right.
Really good.
Yes.
He did a really good job, so I'm excited about releasing that one.
He accepted the job.
Yeah.
We made an active decision during the writing of this record to do something a little bit more upbeat.
Once minuscule crawl from the ranks of slime, condemned to pay for every mortal crime. A soul so lonesome even demons tremble. His name is misery, dependent fine. Ultra, fear his name. Mercy is not authorized in his domain. Now quake with fear. Death comes to all, and the darkest lost his sentence to the deepest fall. All who stand before him shall be made to crawl.
So, this is definitely one of the exciting parts for me. I have to ask, how does it feel to work with Udaroth again?
I love working with Udaroth.
The Udaroth theme stuff tends to be a lot of fun.
Come here, you. Get in there. Fear my name.
So, can anyone tell me what the health benefits are of a demon protein shake?
Oh, I would say that it's low carb and high protein. So it's definitely really good if you want to lose weight and build muscle, but just one big muscle.
Demon minions are very high in protein and low fat. You know, they're comparable to emu or ostrich. You know, very low fat. You know, good for lifting. If it's chest day in hell, it's good. It's a good option post workout.
How would you direct a live-action version of Udaroth if you actually had to?
Maybe like throw red paint on Willie and like some horns and like really low budget, like, you know, on VHS, you know, or something in front of a little like kiddie stage. Like right there, like see with that flaming like White House, that's how we would shoot it. Well, no, I wouldn't actually make a video. I think they already have something in the works for an animation studio to do it, so I don't think I'm doing it. And even if I did, it would probably be like, you know, a lot of effects and fires and stuff. It would be too much at this point for me to do it.
Right.
Better to imagine it as an animation.
Right. Save the red paint for another day, huh?
Live action, and is Udaroth live action as well?
That would be my thought. So I don't know if you would have someone in an Udaroth suit. They suggested actually painting Will red and making him Udaroth.
Wow, okay. Well, I'm a fan of practical effects. So I think you have to go with some kind of suit, and you need to use some kind of skull for the face with some real hair glued onto it, and you'd have to find some horns, and you need a tall guy. He's got to be super tall. I don't know if Will's tall enough. They have to put some stilts on him. But yeah, I'd say Udaroth, all practical, right? Make him real gnarly, and then I don't know. You got to deal with the fire in his belly. So
right.
I don't want to CG anything, so that you might have to set somebody on fire.
Any last words?
It's been nice to know all of you. Bad joke. We're really happy with the response that we've gotten, both the good and bad with WomanoWar, because this was meant to be fun, and by and large, it has been. So.
I think this is the only time when like any sort of press on us is good press, but not with some of the other stuff that's been releasing like right after us. So we're grateful for the coverage.
Just thank you. Womanowar has been a ton of fun. We've had some really good crowds. I'm glad nobody's been pissed or thought we were trying to, make fools out of Man OWar, because we're not. We love Man OWar. We love these songs, and they're just fun to play. And for Sound of Thunder, even bigger thanks. We always think we're at the ceiling, and then our fans surprise us and take things up like multiple levels. So it's just it's hard to put into words because it's just happened. We just hit $60,000 on the Kickstarter today. So I haven't even had time to process it, but I mean, obviously it's great, and it's a huge thanks to all the fans.
Well, we've enjoyed doing Womanowar. I'm glad that we had this wonderful experience with Dewey. I hope we continue to do it. I hope we continue to do it in the future. Because I just love pissing off Joey DeMaio. So. Specifically, since they're retiring soon and people won't get to see Manowar live anymore, they'll still have Womanowar.
Right. You might be carrying them on into.
Exactly. Carry on.
Yeah.
Carry on.
Yeah. And you, Jesse?
On the Kickstarter, there's 46 hours left on the Kickstarter at this point. We're really happy with how it's turned out. We're amazed at how many people have jumped in with us, both from in the United States and abroad. Can't wait for It Was Metal to come out. It's going to be a long march to March. But we've also had this record done for a year now. So I'm dying to start playing these tracks out.
Yes, I've almost forgotten that you've had things here more or less done that far ahead.
This record was the Thunder Choir for this record was last October. So
I was in that.
You were in that, yeah. I was not, surprisingly.
Well, you played the bass.
Yeah, still on the record, but no, I'm not on the record. Josh plays the bass.
Josh plays all the bass.
Excellent. And last question, honest. Last question and honest. Can you each tell me what you think is the world's cutest animal?
Sand cats. Those little cats. They're little cats. They're little wild cats, and they're like this big. And they have really big eyes and tiny paws, and they kind of look like munchkin cats. But they have spots, and when they're kittens, they look like little stuffed animals. So yeah, sand cats.
Nice.
Yeah.
Puppies generally. Yeah, I'm a dog guy, so having a bunch of small puppies around is about the best thing in the world.
I was going to say, I suppose you could name a proper name for what you think is the cutest animal in the world.
For me, it's chinchillas. I have chinchillas. I just adopted a new chinchilla.
Oh, yeah?
Most luxurious rat ever.
Catch all beat. Pangolins.
Penguins.
Yeah.
Pangolins.
Oh,
What the
pangolins.
hell is that?
They're
Nice.
like these
Armadillos.
but armadillos can suck it. Pangolins are even cooler looking. They're awesome. They're like pine cones with a soul.
Pine cones with a soul. I love it.
It's the name of my next side project.
What do you think is the world's cutest animal?
Jesse.
Ladies and gentlemen, the cutest animal in the world, Jesse King.
Well, I hope you have enjoyed this video. I'd like to give a special thank you to Josh, Jesse, Nina, Dewey, and Willie for taking part in this interview. Yes. Do follow A Sound of Thunder on their website and on their YouTube channel. do prepare yourself to purchase. It was metal! Do always support independent music and art. Well, thank you so very much for watching this video. Until next time, stay monstrous! Monster! Out!